Time to get spooky and scary in the middle of May. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Pet Shop of Horrors episode 2. This is a donation reward for Isabella and is our YouTube adjacent reaction of the week. So this is a short series, like a mini series, and just like Great Expectations, I'm going to be doing this moving forward as part of this slot, because there's only 4 episodes, normal episode length, about 22 minutes, and I feel like that's not really enough to put as an actual series reaction. So I'm considering it as a YouTube adjacent reaction. It's just the equivalent in terms of length. So these are not going to be like necessarily back to back. Like I'm not going to get to episode 3 next week. For a couple reasons, actually. Next week's also Memorial Day, I believe. So it's like here in America. So I'm probably not going to even be able to put up anything next week, actually. But the point is, it's not going to be like the next YouTube reaction we have. It's just going to be like, when I get to these, I get to them. We're just doing one at a time. And if you're wondering about episode 1, we already did that as part of a donation reward appreciation week we did a while back, where we checked out the first episode of a bunch of donation rewards we still had on our list and just gave them a preview so it wouldn't be as long in between them being requested and me getting to them. Well, we're bringing this one in now, and yeah, we reacted to the first episode. Like I said, it was interesting. This is an anime series for those who don't know, and the first episode involves like this family. I think they were rich, but from what I remember, like they went to this pet shop and I think they brought home an animal, and then this little girl started like going all weird and scary and stuff, and the family was like getting fucked up because of it. I don't remember exactly how it went down. Let me look this up. I could probably look this up real quick. It's been a while since I did this first one, so let me look up list of Pet Shop of Horrors episodes. Okay, yeah. The couple went to the pet shop because they lost their daughter, and they purchased a rabbit there that reminded them of their daughter, and the rabbit ended up kind of becoming their daughter. It was like this weird thing. That's what it was. That's what was going on. Let me see if I can find out. Also, this was Studio Madhouse, by the way. Yeah, I'm not finding any more specific information. Oh, this might have something. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So they take the rabbit home. By the way, the rabbit ends up looking exactly like their daughter, and they just kind of accept that. It was weird. But they're given this contract by the pet shop owner, and he tells them, you basically just had to follow these couple of rules. And they end up breaking those rules. I think one of the rules had to do with feeding her sweets or something like that. It's not listed here, but it mentions the contract's terms. But yeah, I think it was like feeding her sweets or something was against the rules. Or was it feeding her? Was it feeding her sweets, or was it anything but sweets? Either way, they broke the rules of the contract because the rabbit made them really believe that it was their daughter, and so they kind of like went a little mad and everything. It was interesting, just really weird. And I think each of these episodes, is kind of an anthology thing. It's like their own separate stories. So I'm really curious as to see where this is going to go. Um, but yeah, so we're going to continue this today. I don't know what to expect moving forward. But before we get this started, I do want to remind you all that we have a lot of awesome series reactions and other reactions on this channel. Every Monday through Friday, those are our series reactions, and there's a lot of great ones. They're always changing and rearranging, so there's always something for everyone. And on Mondays, we also do YouTube or YouTube adjacent reactions, such as this. Anything that doesn't fit into a full series or a movie reaction basically goes in this slot. And speaking of movies, though, we do have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. They are recorded previously in the week, but I upload them on the weekends just so that every day has something going on for it. We're also currently going through a couple different Let's Plays, Spider-Man 2 every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and Anno Mutationum every Saturday. Anno Mutationum is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. If you want to know how to donate for a PS5 Let's Play, check out one of the videos titled approximately like PS5 Game Reward Months. There should be a couple of those videos up, so just check them out. And those should give you all the information that you need regarding that. That being said, let us just get this going and see where this episode takes us. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because, yes, every reaction on this channel is redirected. We do this just to avoid any copyright issues with YouTube because you know how YouTube tends to be, especially when it comes to copyrights. It just does not understand fair use at all. And it's a hassle. So to remain safe, to avoid any possible channel strikes, or God forbid, the channel getting terminated, I've dealt with that, don't want it to happen again. It's terrible. But to avoid that kind of stuff, we just avoid it by pushing everything to another site. And I know it's not the most appealing thing to do. I know you'd rather just watch it here. But on the plus side, that means every single one of you, yes, every single one of you gets to see the full unedited reaction completely free. No paywalls, no Patreon. You don't even have to sync up your own copy. All you have to do is click the link down below. It'll take you to the reaction full and unedited with the footage completely free. And then after you watch it, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to the episode, but just my general thoughts on it and the series and everything else as well. Sometimes I'll even talk about other stuff related to the channel, so it's always worth it to check out just in case. Plus, it gives you a full rundown of what I thought of what we watched. So, that being said, as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, kind of like the first episode, what I remember of it, and I would say even more so this episode, actually, it kind of makes you at the end wonder what was actually really real here. Like with the first episode, you're wondering if like, oh, the rabbit was really turning into her and everything, and so on and so forth. Here, it's like, was it actually just a fish this entire time? This like giant crazy fish? And he was just seeing her? And the music that he claimed she was singing was just that CD he had on the table there, and he had played it, and he was just like so mentally broken by her suicide that he imagined this entire thing? Or did it really happen and like she turned back into a fish basically once her revenge was gotten? Because fish, I don't think, typically eat people. That's the thing. But mermaids typically do in a lot of the mythology and lore. Mermaids are very often like people eaters. I can't really say cannibalistic because it's not really cannibalism for a mermaid to eat a human. A human eating a human is cannibalism. A mermaid eating a mermaid is cannibalism. But a mermaid eating a human, technically no, by the definition. But yeah, typically mermaids and sirens lure people to be eaten. That is a very common part of the mythology. Now, there's obviously a lot of different takes on mermaid mythology, so it's not all the same, but there's various reasons. A lot of it can be down to hunger. A lot of it can be down to that's just how they, not prey, how they hunt. You could say, and in some cases it's just something they do for fun. But here, if that was the case, and if she really was a mermaid there, like we presume, it comes across more as a vengeance thing. And I don't think she had actually, like, initially realized who she was. Like it kind of stated, it seemed like she had lost her memory, and we kind of almost, I feel, see the moment when she gets it back. So if that was really happening, then she definitely chose to take her revenge out on him. And he had just, his mind had broken completely. Iazen's mind had broken, and he was just not in a good way. Because we find out the full story, and so he married her seemingly because she was this, rich, famous girl who had grown up with everything, and it basically he was using her. He really loved this other girl, his ex. Basically, they were really still together, and Ava ended up finding out about that. She ended up finding them on the deck of the ship, and ended up finding out about that, and so she threw herself off the ship, committing suicide out of anger and sorrow. A pure emotional reaction, just based on all of those negative emotions that were just flooding into her at that point. And we find out that apparently part of her thigh was found having like been ripped off and everything and decomposed all this time later. And at the end it mentioned like her upper body and skeletal remains were found inside the fish, which there's kind of an implication there that she was probably ripped apart by something else, because again, that fish didn't look carnivorous, it didn't or anything, but some fish would do that, but it wasn't like a shark or anything. It was just a big fish basically. But it probably still like consumed her body, like what was left of her body, upper body. And maybe her spirit kind of took possession of it, and that's why it kind of like became her in a way and became this mermaid. And maybe it just took her a bit for her to realize who she was at that point. And that's when she, of course, got her revenge and ate Iazen, feasted on him and killed him to get her revenge. And it's kind of implied that he maybe wanted that, like he was, out of guilt and everything, felt like he deserved that. But also, it was very clear that he had just become enamored with her. He had just, after everything that happened, we know that he and the other girl broke up and decided to never see each other again. And once he saw her as the mermaid, he just kind of like became completely enamored and chose to just lose himself to it. like, if you want to say like, oh, maybe he wanted to die and everything and he felt like she would do that, that could kind of explain why he didn't feed her and all. But it wouldn't explain like the way he was acting otherwise, because he very clearly was infatuated with her. And it was also very clear, as always, that the Count knew everything. He completely knew what was going on and completely knew what was happening. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. And I definitely think that... I think it was real. And I think it was like that kind of thing, like her soul had kind of possessed the fish and made Eazan see her as a mermaid, and probably the Count too. See her as a mermaid during that possession, basically. That's really interesting. It's definitely, I would say this is better than what I remember the first episode being, and it just felt like it had a little more depth to it, plus just more interesting. Not that the first was bad by any means. Again, it's been a while. Like, when did I put that out? Let me see if I can find that real quick. I can bring up YouTube Studio on my phone, so I should be able to find it on there. Just by searching through the content. Pet Shop. It should be the only thing on my channel that says Pet Shop in it, so should be easy to find. 9 months ago, according to this. August 1st of last year, yeah. So I haven't gotten back to that since then. Yeah, that was quite a while back. So that's really interesting. But yeah, this was another good episode. This one was really interesting, and although it was obviously a short story, a little anthology thing, we do kind of have some continuity with the cop and everything coming back into play, and dealing with the Count again and all. So it's like there is kind of a certain level of continuity, and that's interesting in and of itself. But it is mostly anthology stuff, and I'm kind of wondering just where it would go from here. I assume it's going to keep up with the supernatural elements, of course, but still. Either way, thank you to Isabella for donating for this, and we will continue with this in the future. Like I said, it won't be the next time. It'll just be whenever I get to this one again. There's other stuff I got to do for this slot as well. But I'm glad I got back to this. It won't be 9 months before the next one. I can guarantee you that much. So, in the meantime, just as a reminder, we have a lot of great content on this channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Mondays, we also do YouTube or YouTube-adjacent reactions, such as this. Anything that doesn't fit in with a full series reaction or a movie reaction. And speaking of, we have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. They're recorded earlier in the week, but I upload them on the weekend so that every day has something going for it. And speaking of, as well, with every day having something going for it, we also are currently doing a couple different Let's Plays. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have Spider-Man 2, which has been a lot of fun. And every Saturday, we are currently doing a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez of Anno Mutationum. If you want to know how to take part in donation reward Let's Plays for the PS5, just look up on the channel PS5 Game Reward Months, and you should be able to find out all that information excuse me, within those videos with these. That all being said, though, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.